Earlier today, we gave you some tips on sticking with your New Year's resolutions, but now we want to dive deep into one common goal: losing weight. Dr. Christian Brown is a bariatric surgeon at Piedmont Medical Center, and he is here to share some healthy ways to reach your weight loss goals. I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Obviously, I'm so familiar with Piedmont. Rock Hill is my hometown. It has a stellar reputation that's been growing in the past few years as a real medical hub. So in your practice, what advancements are you seeing in bariatric surgery? It's been in our minds for a long time, but the technology's come so far and it's really stepping in to serve people in a new way.
Right. We have a bariatric surgery program at Piedmont Medical Center, both in Rock Hill and in Fort Mill, and it's expanded over to Fort Mill, and where we're establishing a bariatric surgery center of excellence. It involves a large group of people and multiple types of providers that patients get to interact with on multiple occasions as they prep for surgery as associated with weight loss surgery. And there's 3 surgeons that you will be able to meet relatively early in the process, which I think is a little bit different than most bariatric programs across the country.
Yeah, so the fact that you get to have these conversations with more than just one person, it's not happening in a vacuum. Absolutely. And I appreciate that about Piedmont because it is very communal when it comes to advancing those conversations with patients. When you're looking at who would be a good candidate, who could come have one of these conversations, typically who's ideal for this?
Generally, we talk about patients having overweight or obesity, and it's generally based on BMI, and that is a requirement by insurance providers across the United States. Those that are overweight generally have a BMI of somewhere between 25 and 30. They generally don't qualify for bariatric surgery, but we're always happy to see them in office and have a discussion about weight loss concepts and make referrals to other providers like psychologists and nutritionists who might be helpful in attaining their goals. Those that are candidates for weight loss surgery generally have BMIs of greater than 35 and one associated obesity comorbidity, meaning things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, or those with classically what we call morbid obesity or a BMI above 40, which generally raises the risk of all of those disorders. Those are candidates for bariatric surgery.
So obviously you as a medical professional, you have a lot of options of what you can focus on. So why is caring for people in this way something that you gravitated to?
Well, it started for me a long time back in medical school and residency, where I did some adipose stem cell research or fat cell research, and I got very interested in the metabolism and the uses for those types of cells, both in plastic surgery and then of course in weight loss. And as I developed my career, that became more and more interesting, and I chose surgery. And some of the things that we are able to do in surgery nowadays through small incisions are absolutely incredible. At Piedmont Medical Center, we are using a robot for some of these surgeries. The vast majority of them are performed on a robot at our center, and that's not true across the United States.
So do you think giving those additional technological advancements makes it more precise and makes it safer?
It definitely makes it more precise, and as we initially started doing these bariatric surgeries through large incisions, and as we have taken that kind of basic core foundation of knowledge and perfecting the surgery itself, we've been able to advance that technology and use it through smaller incisions. And the incisions we're talking about are generally 4 to 5 incisions. They're only about 1 centimeter wide, or about the width of your pinky.
Wow. My last question for you is, if somebody decides to make a decision like this, what does that full timeline look like from beginning to end?
Well, there's a lot of people that you have to see before the operation and during the setup for that operation. And generally people make it to the operating room 3 to 6 months after they first meet the surgeon and start the bariatric program. There's a lot of requirements that are advised by insurance companies, and a lot of requirements that the surgeons will advise. Some of those are radiologic x-rays. Some of those are meeting with a nutritionist, dietitianist to make sure you understand the diets, and so that way you can maintain your weight loss after the surgery. Generally, people will lose weight for about 1 to 2 years after the surgery, and they become weight stable. But if you don't adhere to the dietary patterns that you learn and are taught before the operation, it is possible to regain weight. We want to help you. We want to operate. We want you to also have a good outcome.
Right. Absolutely. Dr. Brown, thank you so much. I appreciate all of your insight. We're going to pop your information up right on the screen, and you can connect with him and that team at Piedmont Medical Center to establish your weight loss journey.